Tom, we are live currently on the interweb. This is, I want to say, first of all, welcome to the Tom and Jim show. It's probably pretty inaccurate for us to have down there Queen's Track 1 as our Twitter handle. Do you have a Twitter handle?
I do. I think it's Coach Tom Scott. I'm not a Twitter kind of guy, Jim.
What's your social media of choice?
IG and then Facebook. I've never really been a Twitter guy.
IG meaning?
Instagram.
Oh. I don't know. Perhaps maybe my dad is tuning in here. He'd be like, IG. He'd be Googling IG. Trying to find this social media opportunity where he could, join in with what everyone else is talking about. You know who is a big Twitter fan?
Who?
Molly.
Oh, really?
We'll be on TV. She'll be tweeting at people. She says she gets a lot of her news from Instagram, from Twitter, actually.
Well, I get all my news from Instagram.
I get most of my news from Instagram too, which is pretty unique, I think, in the world as far as things go. But I mean, I can't even fathom cruising Twitter anymore. I mean, so for example, we're going to take a look at one of the things that where I routinely get my news, and that is Let'sRun.com. So what you're seeing here is the boards. And Tom, can you talk us a little bit through what exactly we're seeing? I'm going to go get another battery and get a setup for a second camera. But talk us through what we're seeing.
I think we're looking at the general forum.
That's the general forum. Yeah.
I mean, there's so much information or forums on there. People get on there and ask questions that have nothing to do with running or track and field. Usually when I'm on Let's Run, I'm just checking out the college track and field openings positions to see.
Trying to get a new job, Tom.
I'm just trying to see who's going where. It's always interesting to see where people are trying to go. But from a training standpoint, I try to stay away from Let's Run. There's a lot of people out there that don't really have a clue.
Look at that.
Yeah, there you go.
That second camera. Right.
And I'm watching live.
But the real question is, you're gonna have to share this. You're gonna have to share this with somebody, because right now you can see right here in our corner, we don't have any viewers.
Oh, this tells you?
That tells you how many viewers we've got live. So we're gonna go ahead. The real question is, how is the audio doing on that? You're gonna have to share this with somebody, because right now the audio is delayed. We don't have any viewers.
Oh, this tells you?
That tells you how many viewers we've got live. So is it delayed with the video?
Yeah.
How is the audio? Really? I don't believe that. Right now, if the audio is delayed.
Yeah.
Why don't you talk into this a little bit?
Yeah.
Well,
all right, we're testing this to see if the video is delayed. No, that's not delayed.
I know, and that's what I don't understand. Why that camera there?
That camera.
That camera has zero delay.
The GoPro is delayed.
There's something wrong with the GoPro. So right now we're going to do something. What's wrong with the GoPro? What's happening, Tom?
I'm the only one watching live.
Here we go.
You have to zoom it out. Well, I'm in it.
What's wrong with the GoPro? What's happening, Tom?
I'm the only one watching live.
Will you turn the audio off so that we don't have... There we go. Tom's basically got an infinite loop going on over there right now. And it's too much for me. We do have 2 viewers, so we've obviously got somebody else who's in there. Can you see any comments coming through on that?
Nope.
So we're running, basically, so when we do this show, we run almost everything through this computer. And basically, it sounds like my computer's going to explode right now. So I don't know if I dare get on here and open up. We'll say I'm going to open up a feed of what we're feeding out in so I can see it. Too much going on. Yeah, this I could barely even handle. I mean, it knows that the internet exists, but that's about as far as we're going. So what I like to do, how about this? Can you go live on your Instagram feed and paste the link in like the comments?
I might be able to.
Let me see here. I'm going to take a look at library on mine.
I don't know if I can put links if we go live.
I don't even know how to look at my own videos. Oh, right here.
On YouTube?
On my channel on YouTube, yeah. There we go.
Could always try to go live and then put the link, but then I got to copy the link.
I copied the link. Okay, so I'm going to try this. We're going to go live. Should I go live on the... I'm going to go live on the Queen's track and field one.
Okay.
So why don't you go live on your personal one?
Test this out.
Test it out. We'll see what happens here. And again, we're always... What our vision is and what our dream is that this is going to turn into something way more than this. Is going to turn into something. Oh, you can actually post on here. I posted it directly.
The link?
Yeah, I posted the link right in here.
Oh, you can actually post on here. I posted it directly. The link? Yeah, I posted the link right in here.
Okay, we'll see if we can get anybody in here. Once we get people in here, I'm just going to tell them, ideally, to see if we can't get anybody. Hey, Rico, check it out. We are live on YouTube right now. Feel free to click that link and join us on YouTube. We got our live coaches show. We're talking about something that we're going to be doing on a regular basis during the year. We're going to have some of you guys, and you guys meaning student athletes, on the show to talk about what you do on a regular basis. So we're pretty excited about it. Come check things out. We're at 1 viewer right now. Obviously, we're down from where we were before, but we'd love to have you come check things out here. Oh, hey guys, welcome. We are live right now also on YouTube. I'm trying to paste this link in here. I'm very curious to see how many people that we can get in there to see the setup that we've got going on for, I don't know what we're going to do. We're going to be doing some type of coaches show this year. We've got Tom Scott, who is on here. Tom, I think, is actually personally going live on his account.
That's
so
correct.
If you're keeping track at home, we are live on YouTube. We are live here currently on my Instagram. Well, not even my Instagram. We're live on the Queen's Track and Field Instagram currently. And third, we're live on Coach Tom Scott's Instagram. So that is a lot of different feeds where we're completely alive. So follow the link that I've posted on there and check those things out. We're trying to work on our feed.
See if anyone's clicking on the link.
Yeah, so far nobody's really clicking on nobody's clicking on the link. Danny Wallace, you're one of the people that we want to check out our link. Check it out below. I just posted that. That is a link to our live YouTube stream that's going on right now. This is going to be the first time that we're actually hosting our Queen's Track and Field Coaches Show. You can log in, check us out at the desk, see what's going on. We've got the audio fixed right now, so you everything comes across live and clear. We're down to 2 people. But the biggest thing I want to see,
you can't click on it. That's why.
You can't
Thanks,
click on
Molly.
it. Oh, disappointing. Okay, so we got to figure out another way where we can share this link and get it out to more people.
Yeah, you cannot click on the link.
I would suggest Twitter, but I don't know if there are any 40-year-olds that are on here that are still using Twitter.
Yeah, everyone's trying to use Instagram these days.
Yeah, talk to me about it. I mean, what do you think are some other ways that we can probably spread this information, maybe send it out in a, what am I trying to say, maybe like an email? Let's send it out to the team in an email right now.
Well, if we had could. If we had an email, or if we had a schedule, like if we did it every Tuesday at I
at
don't know.
noon. But basically, what we're looking for is people to be able to come in organically, see it, check
If we
it out.
announce it beforehand, let's see if we can.
Yeah, that would be a good one. Link
Prop
in
this
bio,
up.
maybe, Danny? What do you think of that? We could do a link in the bio.
Yeah, you could do a link in the
Link in
bio.
the bio would definitely
Yeah,
be
link
one of
in the
those
bio
things.
would work.
Link in the bio, definitely. I don't know if I can ungo live
I don't
and
know.
edit my link in the bio.
How's it going, guys? We're experimenting with YouTube Live right now, trying to get everything rocking and rolling for what's going to be soon become the Queen's Coaches Show.
Right now,
Hopefully one day.
I've got us open to questions from our viewers, but
Yeah?
no questions
You got
so
any?
far.
No one has questions for
No one has
Coach
questions so
Vahrenkamp
far,
yet?
no. So
Oh,
what if
is that what this button's for?
I'm going to press
Yeah.
end.
No questions.
I'm going to press.
But what we want to do is have
share.
a live feed every week. We'll talk about the cross country season, talk about training, talk about the recruiting process perhaps, and answer questions that people have. That's the goal. Right now we're on Coach Jim Vahrenkamp's YouTube channel. We've got 2 viewers on that. One of them is me. The other one, we are not sure. They have not said who they are.
How do I even edit the YouTube channel link? That's the thing that I'm struggling with.
The YouTube channel link?
in the
Oh, in your bio?
Yeah, I can't even figure out how to edit the bio right now. Oh, there it is. Edit profile.
It's real easy to do. Actually,
Found
maybe
it.
I don't know if I can do that right
No,
now.
I'm doing it right now.
Are you live?
Yes, live. Okay, so I'm going to go live here in a moment again. I changed it. Link is in the bio.
Okay.
Link is in my bio.
All right, that's what I'm going to do real quick. I'm going to put the link to the YouTube channel in my bio real quick, and then I will be back.
Okay, let's see if that will work. The other thing I'm going to do, I'm going to close this real quick. Go over here. I'm going to drop that link in there. These guys. This guy's so funny. Okay. Well, you guys, we're back. I'll tell you one thing that I did. I went and changed it. I put the link in the bio. So basically what you're seeing right now is only one half of what's going on. The rest of it, and I'll show you what's going on here. We've got basically our own little live studio set up here, and I'm live with Coach Tom Scott.
Yep.
And we are trying to basically have a short little coaches show, and we're inviting you to get in here and check out what's going on. So again, link is in the bio. You're going to want to check that out. I'm going to also email this link really quickly out to our track group.
Ooh, we've got 4 viewers.
Yeah, where we're getting closer. So just remember, for those of you who just have joined, our link to our actual YouTube channel, which is, we're calling it just the Tom and Jim Show right now, is in our bio. So if you want to log into our bio, you can just slide over to YouTube, join us there, and see what we're doing. You can see a much better picture of like our setup, what we've got going on here. We've got this background that we went and actually created. You got to remember that this is actually in our office. That's where we do things on a regular basis. But Coach Tom and I are just taking a little bit of time out of our day
All right,
to sit
that
and
link
talk
to our
about
live show should
what
be
we're doing
in the bio
at
now.
Queens Track
So
and Field.
click the link in the bio, and you should be able to tune in to what will soon to be our coaches show, the Queens Track and Field Cross Country Coaches Show. So go ahead and click the link in the bio, and we'll be on air answering questions, talking track and field.
Okay, so again, you heard Tom talking about earlier. He is, how do we change how we live comment? Can't live comment. That's it's probably a little bit of danger in allowing Danny to live comment. on our videos.
Someone commented right here, Riley Laprelle.
Okay, well, Danny, if you're having problems with this, get over there to YouTube, check things out. there should be an opportunity to live comment. Check things out. Sorry, I got to pause every now and then to look over here.
I think the link works now.
For those of you who are just joining us, slide over to YouTube, check out our link, which is in the bio, and check out what we've got going on for the live coaches show here. One of the things that we were talking about earlier, and I'll move back over there, if you're a big fan of track and field, and the only way that you can see this is if you go over to our YouTube channel. Oh, well, I think that's working, whatever. Here is letsrun.com. Okay, so talking about what is letsrun.com, it's probably the most prolific running website that exists. Okay, they carry the news of the day. If you're looking for information on what happened on the most recent Diamond League meet, you're looking on who are some of the up and comers that are young stars that you need to pay attention to, that type of information is on letsrun.com. They've got a quote of the day. The yellow stuff on the right-hand side that you can see there is the forum. I don't know, Tom. What else have they got on here? They got a lot of different things.
Oh, everything. I mean, they'll be with
Again,
USA.
link is in the bio.
USA is coming up this weekend?
Those are this weekend.
I'm sure Let's Run will be talking about what they think is going to happen, who are the favorites, who are the dark horses, things like that. So,
well, maybe let's talk about that a little bit. What maybe some projections for what you expect to see at U.S. Championships?
Man, we should probably look at the entries, shouldn't we?
Yeah. Why don't you pull the entries up?
Yeah,
there?
let's look at
So
the
first of
entries.
all, how about this? Top of your head, who's going to win the 10K?
Is Rupp running it?
I think Rupp is solely focused on...
Has he retired just
I think
to
he's-
only the marathon?
I think we're back to only the marathon at this point.
Yeah, let's look here.
I'm down to one view. So again, like for those of you that are checking us out on Instagram Live, the link is in our bio. You can hop over to YouTube right now, check things out. It's our live coaches show. We've got 6 people that are checking things out currently. My wife has got it on the TV in our living room. I don't know why. But again, Tom, take us through a little bit about what we can maybe expect from this next week.
Well, the looking at the 10K, you've got Lopez Lamong, who I believe is the reigning national
You're
champion.
on Flash, aren't you?
He won. No, I'm on USATF.
Okay, so I'm going to flashresults.com, and I got a friend, and I'm going to give him a shout out right now. His name is Write Me Out. We're good. Okay, we're back on here. So if you're looking for timely, you're looking for excellent results, you're going to want to go to flashresults.com.
Zach Panning's in this. Ooh.
That's right. So who's Zach Panning? Give us a little info on him.
Zach Panning is the two-time NCAA 5K champion for Division II, and he also his senior year won the 10K. And actually, I think last year he had a top 8 finish at the USA National Championships. I believe 8th place out in at Drake for the USA National Championships. I think he was the first collegiate athlete there. But looks like he's in the race again this year with I think he ran maybe it was a top 5 or 6 fastest time ever in Division II history for the 10K out at Raleigh Relays this year. So that'll be exciting to watch him. He's a good guy.
So again, if you're just joining us on Instagram Live, the link is in our bio. We're over on YouTube right now, and we're doing a live coaches show. So if you want to get in there, you want to comment, you want to throw some things in there, feel free to hop over there and join us. Okay, so getting back to what we were talking about earlier, Tom, I'm on USATF.com, and I've pulled up now status of entries, and that's where we get some information here where we actually know about what's going on. One thing that we are all interested in, okay, the 100-meter dash. Who do you have in the 100-meter dash? That's what I'm looking at. I know you're not going to know anything about it, but let's take a look here. We've got Christian Coleman, we got Ronnie Baker, we got Justin Gatlin, Mike Rogers, Cameron Burrell, who, if you don't know, his father is the head coach at the University of Houston. His dad used to hold the world record, ran with Carl Lewis when they were in college. This is going to be an exciting event. So let's talk about something you don't know. Tell me what you don't know about the 100-meter dash. Jump in there. Who's missing?
Who's the
Noah Lyles.
Yeah, Lyles is
Noah
he
Lyles.
won last year.
That's
He's not in there.
He's
right?
talked about, this year he ran a personal best. He beat Christian Coleman, and as he finished, it was great. Leaned in, looked over. He was eyeballing Coleman the whole way. Coleman's just racing, trying to do his thing. But said he's just going to focus on the 200. So let's go over to the 200 and just see what we've got there. I'm pretty sure there he is, Noah Lyles. He is one of the fastest men all time. He ran 19:50 in the 200-meter dash. Super exciting. He is going to be the star of this meet in just the 200. But again, we go back to the 100. We're left with Christian Coleman, Ronnie Baker, Justin Gatlin.
So I'm curious, what are your thoughts on that? You think that's a smart decision to just do the 2?
I think it is. I think the biggest thing is protecting your brand. And you know what doesn't build your brand? Losing.
Getting second.
That's right. Getting second. Getting second never builds your brand. And that's one of the things that Noah Lyles is known for, is that every time he's run a 200 in the Diamond League, he's only been defeated one time. The guy went pro straight out of high school, 18 years old. Was a stud, is a stud, continues to develop, and the one thing that doesn't build your brand is losing.
Do you think that's good for track and field? I mean, I think some would say not doing a race because you're afraid of getting second is not the best.
Well, I'll tell you, there's two different things in track and field. There are agents who get you paid, and there are fans, you and I, who want to see you lose and take chances and take risks. And sometimes, that's the biggest thing. The agents are out there to maximize the amount of money that their people are going to make, because the agents get paid as a part of that.
Yeah.
Right? So I do think that I think it's kind of disappointing, but it's also the safe bet, especially in a year, in a build-up right before an Olympic Games, because how you do an Olympic Games...
interferes with the training?
Which part? Not doing the races?
No, doing the 100. Do you think that's going to interfere with his training or his... Because I don't understand why, what's to lose?
And give me 1 second. Hey, if you just joined us on Instagram Live, we're also live over on YouTube. If you want to go check us out, the link is in the bio. We're going to be here on a weekly basis. It's going to be our coaches show. Every single week, I'm here with Coach Tom Scott, who works distant. I work sprints and jumps. That means that we've got almost all the track and field covered. We're going to add one more here. We've got a spot right in the center here for the big guy, Nick Green. He's going to be in here, and he's going to be talking about the throws pretty soon. We're going to have a couple other shows here coming up where we're going to continue to cover U.S. championships. Right now, we're talking about Noah Lyles and whether or not it's wise to skip the 100-meter dash. And we've already seen him have some success. So talk about that a little bit. I don't think, as an expert in speed power events, I don't think it is that big of a deal for him to also run the 100 from a physiological, training standpoint. And that's kind of what you were asking, right?
Yeah. Well, you used the argument of there's agents and they're trying to get paid. So if he gets, let's just say he gets second in the 100 and wins the 200, how does that hurt his status with his company, with his brand?
No, that's a great question. So I think the only thing that it hurts is if you go to a world championship, okay, and there's some trepidation there about whether or not you should go in and challenge for the 100 and the 200. I think doing both, because there are rounds and because of the potential, the way that the schedule is laid out. What if you came up second and second? Then you're screwed.
Yeah.
The thing that you can sell is a winner, right?
Yep.
Somebody that comes in second,
Working now?
Okay, audio's back on. I apologize for that.
How long had the
Well,
sound
I
been
think
off?
once that camera went out. Once that camera went out. So, hey, if you're a fan of track and field, you can go over to link in the bio. Link in the bio. You can check out the link in the bio and find out what we're talking about. We're over on YouTube right now. We're trying to cover some stats and some other things. That's where we're at right now. And really what we're debating is whether or not doing more than one race is going to affect your ability to be successful in the other.
Well, I think it depends. Well, the event, obviously. We're talking about the 1 and the 2. I don't know if I've ever. Obviously, you're the expert on this, but I've never seen an athlete, at least at the collegiate level, our level, D2, not do the 100 to do the 200 or not do the 200 to focus on the 100. Just being the mostly lactic events that they are, recovery is typically takes about 2 hours or an hour, even less than that, and that's why they can run multiple rounds in one day.
The other thing too, and this is at the highest and most elite level, this is a thing that I would say. Unless you are Usain Bolt, unless you are the greatest who has ever done the event, you're running up against some of the best in the world when you go out there and you toe the line in any event. So just because you're the best in the 100, if you're maybe decent in the 200, you may have the chance of ending up 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. In the United States, since we are a winner-takes-all country, you have to be on the day. And we're also late in the year. We're late in the year all the way back to September this year. That's correct, isn't it?
When the World Championships are?
That's right, when the World Championships are.
Something like that. End of September, early October, somewhere around there.
This thing's about to die.
Our GoPro?
No, our other camera. So if you guys are also interested in Twitter, you're not a 40-year-old who also still uses Twitter, but maybe you're a hip 18-year-old trying to bring back this archaic, it's almost like being on Facebook anymore. Queens Track 1, that's what we are on Twitter. I don't even know what exactly our handle is on Instagram. If you joined us on Instagram Live right now, we're also live over on YouTube. Our link is in the bio. You can go check things out there. If you don't know, if you're on YouTube, we're live here on Instagram at the same time, trying to give people an idea of where we're going to continue to talk about this. But so to go back to your question, Tom, I agree with you. I think that's one of the challenges. And I also think our other challenges are we're going to be out of battery here for this camera very soon. So talk us through maybe the 10K, 5K considerations and why you wouldn't double in that.
Oh, for sure not double on that unless you're one of the top tier athletes. I know in the past, Rupp has doubled, but those events take so much out of you, especially at the World Championships level. I believe they run a prelim for the 5K. So you're looking at 20K worth of racing in less than a week. That's crazy, unheard of, especially at the world stage, and only a few athletes can do that. You're looking at Mo Farah and
Mo didn't do the event anymore.
Yeah, and if he's not doing it anymore, then I'm not sure who can. I mean, if we're looking at this year, I briefly ran through the names of. So Paul Chalimo's doing the 5K. Is he also doing the steeple? No, he wouldn't be doing the steeple. It'd be Hillary Bohr.
Well, I think Scott Simmons has got a really studly group. I do think that the audio is going to be a little bit delayed for those of you that are watching at home, just because I switched things. If you just joined us on Instagram Live, our link is in the bio, and we're over on YouTube as well right now. Apparently, according to Wirecast, which is serving out all of our video right now, we are at about 7 viewers. So go ahead and feel free to come over and join us there. Scott Simmons.
Yes.
Right now, he's a controversial figure. And there was some controversy about the selection for the U.S. Championships. Now, I'll run you through it really briefly. There was originally, they said, we're going to select it based on times from 2018 to 2019. Then there was some rewording where they said, we'll take it just from 2019. And Scott Simmons being the genius that he is, living in that gray area, put in areas where he contested, where his kids would have been eligible with previous year's numbers, and where his kids were eligible with this year's numbers, he didn't contest it at all. And so the way that the USATF responded to that is they only allowed where he put in a request for them to for an exemption for kids this year. It got his kids in all the events that he wanted. So he's got kids in the 5K, the 10K, the steeplechase. I don't think he's got anybody in the 1500 in the past. He coached a teacher who actually taught in Rock Hill and came fourth in those championships. But he's got Chalimo, he's got Hillary Bohr, he's got a couple other guys. Michael Jordan, they're definitely out in his group. Not the guy that used to shoot hoops, but a guy that ran at Southern Indiana that's a pretty good steeplechaser that runs in a Michael Jordan uniform.
Yep.
But, you know, I'll see if I can find that on here.
Let's see. You're looking at the steeple. What are you looking at?
I'm going to look up a picture of Michael Jordan in the steeplechase.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's entered in the steeplechase from Nike U.S. Army. He's run 8:32. That's what he's entered as.
I will say this. Streaming everything through this computer makes it like using dial-up. So it takes me back into the days when I would go down to my parents' basement, click yes, I'd like to be on the internet, and you'd hear that noise. It's not a blessing, I'll put it that way for sure. I'm looking for a picture here of Michael Jordan in an actual Michael Jordan kit.
Clayton Murphy's running both the 15 and the 8.
Not surprising. Now let me ask you this. Based upon the schedule, is Clayton Murphy going to be able to make the decision whether he races the final of one or the other? They're not going to be on the same day, right?
Doubtful. I don't know what the schedule is. I would need to look that up. There's Jake Edwards. I've actually raced against him a few times. Ohio boy. Went to Ohio State. Let's see here.
Anything of note that that's big, that's surprising to you?
Let's see. It's Grant Fisher. Grant Fisher's entered in the 15. Is he also in the 5? Did he run a quick enough time? Yeah. Grant Fisher's doing the 15 and the 5. That'll be interesting.
Not wildly surprised by that. Let's pull everybody back over here and take a look at these. Again, if you're looking for these links, a real easy way to go is flashresults.com. If you're joining us just now on Instagram Live, link is in the bio. Slide on over to our YouTube channel. Check that out. No idea how long these cameras are going to continue, but as long as they're on, we're going to continue to be here. We're going to continue to talk you through USA Championships and what's coming up. So let's take a look, say at the men's 1500. Talk us through what we're seeing here. I've got that on the screen. I see Matthew Centrowitz, class of the field typically. This year, though, he's gotten off to a slow start and he's had a coaching change. Can you talk us through that?
I mean, I can't see anyone upsetting him this year. I mean, those are obviously obstacles, but the Olympic champion, it's going to be tough. He's got the fastest seed by almost 4 full seconds.
But when does that seed come from? That's the other thing. That's not this year. That's last year.
Usually they're it's got to be within like 12 or 13 months. So I know you can qualify using last year's USA time, but just the experience that he's has being the Olympic champion. I mean, and going to the USA championships. I mean, this is going to be kind of like a conference championships for him. I mean, it shouldn't be too terribly out of his realm, even with a new coach.
Again, if you're joining us over on Instagram Live, slide over to YouTube. The link is in the bio. You can check us out. We're doing a weekly coaches show here every single week right now. Coach Scott and I are just talking through. We're in the studio. We're just talking through live results for this year, what we've got coming up. We'd love to have comments from you guys. Are you taking any comments? Are we getting anything over there?
There's actually quite a few comments on
anything appropriate for YouTube, which anything goes on YouTube.
Trey saying Craig Engels. Yeah, I mean that guy. The USA trials that he had in 2016 was unbelievable. I think he got fourth in both the 15 and the 8. It looks like this year, just running. Is he in the 8 too? He's in the 15. I don't know if I saw him in the 8.
Craig Engle's probably not going to be in the 8. I don't think I've ever seen him race U.S. championships in that.
He did in 2016. He doubled. That was when he was finishing up his last year at Ole Miss, I believe.
Do we have any D2 guys that are going to be represented in some of these?
In the 10K, you got Zach Panning.
Okay, so let's take a look at the 10K here. Everybody who's playing along at home, if you're just joining us on Instagram Live, you can slide over to YouTube. You can click the link that's in our bio and connect with us and check out what's going to be in the future, a weekly coaches show. So we're taking a look right now at the men's 10K. Talk us through what you're seeing there. Clayton Young, Trevor Dunbar.
Yeah, Trevor Dunbar, an Alaskan native. I think he was the first person to ever break 4 on Alaska.
Lowy Lelang is entered in the 10K.
Yeah.
Fun fact for you guys, last year, one of our athletes, Elijah Inawa, beat Lowy Lelang in a mile over at the, what's that called?
Music City Distance Carnival.
That's right, the Music City Distance Carnival. So fun fact for those of you that are following. If you're just joining us on Instagram Live, slide over, click the link in our bio, check us out on YouTube. We've got a full setup here. We're in the studio. It's Coach Scott and I. We're just talking through some of the results that or not even the results, the entries that we're seeing for U.S. championships. But good seeing everybody. Check us out over there.
Yep. Lopez Lamong, another one. He's got the foot speed. Used to run the 15 and 5K, and he won the 10K last year with a monstrous kick. Garrett Heath, another guy to watch for, who's also sort of made that leap from being more of a 15 5K guy to now doing the 10K.
There's one thing that I see in here that sticks out to me that maybe other people have heard about. What is Tin Man Elite? Can you talk a little bit about that?
It's a relatively new club out in Colorado. I can't remember the town off the top of my head. Where are they?
While he's doing that, if you just joined us on Instagram Live, check us out over on YouTube.
Yeah,
we're up to 8 viewers right now.
Boulder.
We're just going through U.S. championships and what we can expect. We're actually taking a look right now at the men's 5K, which that's one of the areas where I would say we see a really strong contingent from an old D2 guy, Scott Simmons. There's a couple on here. I see Paul Chalimo's on there. I see Hillary Bohr is entered in the 5K. Is he entered in the steeple as well? I assume he is.
He's in the steeple.
Biggest news in the men's steeple is what?
I don't know.
American record holder in the men's steeple will not contest the men's steeplechase for the first time in 6 years. So this will not be an opportunity for him to defend his title. He had a stress reaction earlier in the year. Wasn't able to get back at it. I can't think of his name. Help me out. Evan Jagger. Evan Jagger. He's not been able to get back at it. So I mean that's for the first time in 7 years we're going to have a different champion in the steeplechase.
That'll be pretty interesting. There's a couple of former D2 guys. At least one former D2 guy. No, 2. I see 2 in here.
And can you tell us who they are?
Yeah,
and tell us where they ran.
Daniel Mykowski. He ran for Cedarville. He was the national champion in 2000.
Sidney Gittibiday has entered the 5K.
Since then he transferred to Indiana and had another really spectacular year there.
You're in the steeple?
Made some national championships and I think had a...
You're in the steeple?
Yep, steeple. And then you've got Michael Jordan, who used to run for Southern Indiana. Finished up about the same time I finished up my college career, somewhere around there, 2012, 2013. Maybe 2011, but I remember watching him run a lot.
Is Stanley Kabeni training with Scott Simmons as well?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Don Cabral is another one.
Kyle Medina also ran for Chico State. Is he in the 10K?
Where's Comadina? In the steeple or what? Yeah, Comadina. So as you're looking at these lists, one of the things that you kind of need to look at. Welcome, by the way. If you're on Instagram Live and you're just joining us, go ahead, slide on over to YouTube. Our link is in our bio, and you can get a hold of Coach Scott and I as we work through our weekly coaches show. We're here in the studio, and we're just working through some entries to the U.S. Championship. So right now, we're just working through a couple of the distance events, but come on over and join us. As you're looking at some of these entries, I noticed that there are some different marks on the right-hand side between declaration, declared, not accepted, scratch. Can you talk me through some of that a little bit? For example, let's look at the men's 5K.
All right.
I see a bunch of declared. I see all the way down to
So you'll see if you look at their times, they've got qualified and then declared next to their name. And if it says accepted, that means they didn't hit the standard. But a lot of times they'll have to go through and accept them anyway, due to maybe not having enough entries to field an entire field.
So a D2 guy I see in here, Sydney Gidabade with 13:46, not qualified, not accepted. Will we see him in the race?
No. It says not accepted. You will not see him in the race, unfortunately.
Okay, and that's why I'm asking, because up until this week, we really haven't seen a really hard breakdown of what was going to happen in the meet, have we?
I haven't, no. And my computer just died.
Go get your plug-in over there. Go check things out. Continuing to look at things here, let's pull up the men's high jump. Pretty interesting. I am from South Dakota. Take a look on your list here. You got 2 South Dakotans on the list representing in the high jump. You got one at 220. You've got one at 224. That is pretty exciting. I'm going to continue to brag on my alma mater for a moment here. We go down to the pole vault. We're going to turn our camera back on here in a moment. We're going to have to figure out a solution that doesn't involve the cameras dying on a regular basis. But
can't plug the camera in, I take it?
Yeah, you can. Come plug over here. We'll get the cameras plugged in at some point. But I would say go check us out on Instagram Live. We're still live in the sense that we've got audio and we're moving the webpage. So you can go check that out. The link is in the bio. Go check that out. See what's going on over there. But again, I'm going to go back through here. Look who's number one, tied for number one on the list, and that is Chris Nielsen from South Dakota, who was actually able to win the Division I national championships.
Might want to make that picture smaller.
Which one?
That way they can see the top name.
Yeah. We'll move that around actually a little bit. There we go. I'm actually going to pull that completely off there, but so you have an idea with what we're working with here. There we go. And now, completely open. You're seeing the webpage, seeing what's going on here. Again, you can go visit us over on Instagram Live. I'm gonna end this since nobody's on here anymore. Okay, Tom. I don't know what else you see in here. What event you want to look at?
We haven't talked anything about the 800 yet.
Okay, so let's pull it up. You may have noticed at home that I've been avoiding the boring distance races. Tom keeps trying to steer us back to it. Talk to us a little bit. I mean, you can see what's on the screen here.
Clayton Murphy. We actually went, and a group of us here at Queens went and watched him run 145 on a 200 flat track at Winston-Salem at the Camel City. That was really impressive. He's obviously got the speed, but also very aerobically strong, can run some really, really good 1500s, and was a bronze medalist at the 2016 Olympics. Donovan Brazier, another solid guy, more of a pure speed guy. I think one thing to note here is that Drew Windle, who was second at the Indoor World Championships last year, is not entered. He also made the 2017 World Team for outdoors, so he is not entered. I believe he's had a little bit of a setback, which sometimes happens, but Eric Sawinski, Isaiah Harris, the former Penn State runner, and Eric Sawinski from, I believe, Iowa. Really good runners. Should be I'm trying to see if there's any other names that Harun Abda, another guy who runs for, he was running for Oregon. He's a Minnesota guy, but ran for the Oregon Track Club for a while. Yeah, that should be an exciting race. Looks like they've got a pretty big field too. They'll do prelims, semifinals, and finals for that one.
Has the 800 gotten a lot better in the United States in, say, the last 10 years?
Oh yeah, for sure.
And why would you say it's gotten better?
Well, I mean, we talked about this a little bit at the coaches clinic we were just at. In general, track and field has gotten a lot better in the United States. The depth's a lot better, and I think that's a lot to do with coaching education, teaching coaches the proper way to train, trying to reach out to high school coaches, getting them to the USA TFCCCA coaching classes, and that goes a long way in just building the depth that we have as a country.
Okay, so there's one of the things that really surprises me as I'm looking at this here, and I'm going to try to turn our volume up, our gain up just a little bit for those of you who are at home. Why is Devin Dixon a scratch?
Daniel? Or where
Devin Dixon from Texas A&M ran 1:44.76.
Oh.
And that surprises me because he was one that I was kind of excited about seeing. Is it just maybe a long season and they're going, you know what I mean? They're going all the way to a world championship in September?
Could be.
Just shutting it down?
I'm not sure.
And that's my sense. So a lot of these athletes respond to the incentives of whether or not they've got world championships, Olympics. And I'll tell you this, in the build-up before an Olympic year, the Olympics is the most important thing.
Oh, actually, you know what? I take that back. Drew Winnell's entered, but he hasn't been accepted. It says qualified. I guess
qualified, but
might be a late entry. I don't know.
1:47.42. When do you run that this year?
I don't. But he probably ran that at USA's last year, would be my guess.
When did Clayton Murphy run 1:43.12?
Not sure.
Okay, so we're not going to give all the love to the men. Okay, we're gonna move over to the ladies' side. I'll be honest, I haven't been following this quite as well, but I will tell you this: Ajay Wilson, very excited about her opportunity this year. You can see that she's right there on top. I'll scroll it the other way. Ajay Wilson, probably one of the most talented middle distance runners I've seen in a long time. Same with Raven Rogers. Raven Rogers ran at Oregon. Ajay went pro straight out of high school. And then you've even, I think, Athing Mu down here, the Trenton Track Club, has got a 2:01.38, is still a high schooler. I think she's 16 years old.
Yeah, she's unbelievable.
Anything that we should see here? That's a lot of girls in the United States under 2 minutes, isn't it?
We watched her at Kimmel City. I believe she got second to Ajay Wilson. That's the mind-boggling. You look at this list. You've got Laura Raisler. She's run 1:59 this year. I remember when she
was seventh fastest on the list
a few months ago, and she is unsponsored. That's crazy to me.
According to this right now.
Yeah,
previously she was a Nike athlete.
Yeah.
I don't.
You'd think if she was still sponsored by Nike.
You know who I didn't see on the men's 800-meter list was Boris Berrien.
Yeah, I think he's been struggling with injuries.
And he was second in world championships indoor? Behind Drew? Or
no, Drew was second. I don't know if Boris was.
He ran at the world championships when they were in Portland. I don't remember how he finished. But, moving along, let's just take a look at the women's 400. And there you see number one ranked girl out of the University of Miami, Shakima Wembley. 49.52. You got Lena Irby. And I'll say this. I said this to my wife earlier this year. I said Lena Irby is staying at Georgia to get the support from Georgia early in the year. All the food, the dorms, the training group. Went pro in the middle of indoors, so she didn't have to go through the stress of the indoor national championships. And she also held back her peak because her goal was a target of what I think is going to be the World Championships. And that's just me, and that's what I believe. But I don't know. We'll see. It's such an exciting story to me to look at, like, especially on the women's side. So many pro women sprinters have come out of the collegiate ranks recently that, they go in, they race for 1 year. The girl at LSU who set the all-time collegiate record in the 100-meter dash this year, she's there for 1 year. She's gone. Okay.
Yeah.
All the girls that go into Oregon, they're sprinters there for 1 to 2 years. Hannah Cunliffe, some of those girls, they're gone after 1 to 2 years. Sydney McLaughlin's in there. She's gone after a year or two. Now, Shakima Wembley was there the entire time at the University of Miami, but it's just really interesting to me. Jessica Beard has raced terribly in the last couple of outings. She's been putting up 52, 53-second times, and so to make the money on the circuit, getting the appearance fees, picking up points towards their Diamond League total, which are the incentives that build up what eventually pay them out at the end of the year because of their sponsors, and still trying to train at the same time, so we're not seeing some great results. I don't really know. But you can see Courtney Okolo's on here, Allison Felix, the timeless young lady who skipped school, still went to USC. I mean, she's on here, entered in the 400. I'm looking to see if there's any Division II athletes that I know. Nobody that I see.
I don't see any Division II in here. There's at least one. Skyland Webb was entered in the 8. I saw that. Emily Richards, a D3 girl.
In the 8?
In the 8, yep. She ran 2 flat last year for Ohio Northern.
Is she accepted? I see declared.
Yeah, qualified, declared. Skyland Rebb, the national champion this year, indoors and outdoors, from UC Colorado. She's entered.
What'd she run? 203, I see.
She's run 202. She ran 202 last year at the national championships. I don't know if she quite ran that fast this year, although last year was perfect weather at the national championships for the 800, and this past year it was pretty windy, which I believe she still ran a pretty solid time. It just wasn't quite as fast. I don't know if I see any other. Oh, Rachel Walters. She's running.
Where's she from?
Grand Valley State. 204.15 is entered.
Okay,
so that'll be exciting.
Yep, accepted and declared. Now, talk me through the 800-meter process at a U.S. championship.
They do a prelim, and then the next day they do a semifinal, and then they get a day off between the semifinal and the final. So they'll go from 32. Typically, they try to take 32, so they'll run 4 heats of 8, and they'll narrow that field down to 16 for the semifinal, and they'll come back the next day, race, and then they take the top 8. They'll probably do the top 2 from each heat in the next 4 fastest times, and then they'll day off, and then they'll come back for a final. So in 4 days, they got to race 3 800s. So usually that final day, everyone's a little bit tired, but that's how it works. It's not always the fastest person that makes it to the world team. It's the person who can withstand 3 races in 4 days the best. That's how it is. And thing at the collegiate level, you can't just have the fastest time in the country. You got to be able to withstand rounds and be able to get recovered, and sometimes even run multiple events. Danny Wallace knows what that's all about. But yeah.
Okay, let's take a look at the 200 for women. And bring that over here. Okay, so 200 for women, what I'm seeing right now, we've got Angelern, 22.16, Jenna Prandini, 22.16, Shakari Richardson, Gabby Thomas from Harvard, Lena Irby again with Adidas now, but previously with the University of Georgia. Man. It's a stack.
What about the girl from North Carolina A&T that was crushing
she might be. Let's take a look in the 100.
Now?
Let's take a look in the women's 100. I think that's Shakari Richardson. Okay, that comes out of LSU. We know her. There's Aaliyah Hobbs, 1091. We see her out of LSU. Jenna Prandini out of Oregon, 1096. Twanisha Terry, USC. Okay. Des Bryant. We know that she ran for the University of Kentucky and before that Clemson. I can never remember the girl's name out of LSU, but she ran 10. I don't see her on the list. See North Carolina State. She would have signed with a legit. Okay, so if you are playing along with us at home, Craig, what am I saying? Trey, somebody, look this up. Give us the answer for what we're looking at. Anybody who's got an idea of what exactly we're looking for, feel free to populate that in our feed. But again, like the women's 100-meter group, if you look at, well, okay, so we had a young lady who ran at Queens. Her name was Nakia Squire. Shout out to Nakia. She was 24th on the list, so I don't even know. Maybe on this year she would have made the list. 11.34 was an accepted number. She ran that before. But in a, look at this. Lakeisha lost, what am I looking at? Olamide Sokunbi at 11.89, accepted and declared. I feel like I'm losing my mind.
Does that get in?
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is this a typo? Or do I not? Maybe she's got a pass? How about, I don't understand here. LaShawn Ned Johnson entered with a 14.10. I don't know if these people just don't understand what's going on.
Well, let's look at the standard on the women's side. It's supposed to be 11.26.
Right. And
that's the posted standard. But sometimes USATF will let people
obviously
in if it's a big name.
Yeah.
In the past.
But again, I don't know who it is, so it can't be that big of a name.
They used to let Alan Webb, back towards the end of his career, they'd let him, and they did it once, I believe, with Nick Simmons in the 800. He didn't have the standard, but they let him in because those names, Alan Webb, Nick Simmons, they're going to sell tickets and they're going to sell, sponsors for people who are watching on TV. So they will let some bigger names in often due to
Well, I will say this.
Money.
In the men's 110-meter hurdles, if you've been watching the Diamond League championships and the meets as they go through the year, I watched Devin Allen run, and I'm so conditioned to watching athletes from the United States win things that right now a 13:23, a 13:30, like even at the collegiate level, doesn't get it done. Because look, our number one and our number two people that are listed on here are Grant Holloway and Daniel Robertson. Both of them were just at the collegiate level. Both of them have just turned pro, but 13:23, that's crazy to me that has, and that goes back to our conversation earlier. Why not race things that you're not going to win? Third place seems irrelevant to me. I'm conditioned, maybe just because that's the way the United States is with athletics, to be like third place.
Yeah, but third place at this meet,
small money is chump change.
Yeah, but it qualifies to the World Championships.
I know, it's chump change. You make $4,000, that's chump change. If you get first, that's a $10,000.
I would argue that the prize money, yes, that's chump change.
I would agree.
From a marketing standpoint, you're in your bonus. He's probably got it in his.
Let me ask you, in a marketing standpoint, Devin Allen isn't marketing anything because he's third place, right?
Well, I bet you he's got. I mean, if he makes the world team, he probably gets. I mean, I don't know what it is, but Nike probably
sure, there's
pays
a bonus or an incentive structure, but I'm going back to the marketing, right? So, for example, if we're talking about the men's 100-meter dash for Noah Lyles, if he is the fastest 200-meter athlete in the world, it trumps the second fastest in the 100 and the 200 at U.S. championships from a marketability standpoint.
Yeah.
I mean, that answers your question earlier, does it not?
I agree, somewhat.
Okay.
I think if you could do both, if you can win the two and get second.
We're down to 0 people watching. Look at this. We've been talking for so long.
We're very boring.
People are already done with us. Have we only been talking for 8 minutes and 40 seconds?
You must have. Did you cut it out?
Oh, I didn't cut it out. Oh, we've been talking for longer than that, haven't we?
Yeah.
How about this? Let's take a look on here. Can we get a live caller? Well, nobody's watching anymore, so I can't really get on here. MySpace is the best when it all comes down to it, says Dan. You're right. MySpace trumps. Does anybody even remember? I mean, that's a real question. Does anybody remember MySpace? My name is Jim Vahrenkamp. I'm here live with Coach Tom Scott. I would love to say that we're going to go to commercial, but we're not. We're here live all day long.
Is this where we do product placement?
Product placement, that's right. So I'll put my Under Armour sunglasses on my head. But this is what we're going to try and do. We're going to try and have a quick coaches show. I mean, we're already, it's 7:05 right now. Do you remember when we have a live caller? Let's check it out. Okay, you're live on the Jim and Tom show.
There's no one watching anymore.
No one is watching.
I'm watching.
Oh, well, it says nobody's watching. So maybe the statistics are not very good.
Yeah.
Can you?
What you're saying to me right now is not what's on the screen.
Okay, well, that's fine. Not a big deal.
Oh, it says there's 8 watching. There's 8 watching.
Oh, does it? All
Your
right. Well,
thing's just
we got a
not
live
working.
caller in here. I don't know anything about the women's 200. A, can you quiet that screaming baby? And B, can you tell us who is Angelern Analyst? Is that? I mean, I don't know anything about her.
Yeah.
We should
She
maybe-
won the 200 for USC. She was like, she was the woman who no one knew about last year that won, and then this year they talked about her a lot.
When did Jenna Prandini run 22:16? Because the performances that I've been seeing, and maybe it's just because I'm so conditioned to see Diamond League performances be super, super elite. When did she run that fast?
I don't know. Can you look up her time?
Can you mute your TV in the background or go into a different room? Gabby Thomas, 22:19. She's another one. I don't remember her running that fast. Or even Lena Irby running 22:37.
Did you just ask me a question? Sorry, I was.
That is correct. Lena Irby, Gabby Thomas, 22:37, 22:19 respectively. When did that happen?
Did it have to be this year?
Oh, that's true. It didn't have to be this year. So we could go all the way back into personal bests from last year. So that makes a lot more sense where what I'm seeing is not necessarily.
The window's from January 1st, 2018.
Yeah.
So times after January 1st, 2018 are when.
So that was like probably Gabby's NCAA championship time.
That's actually for, let's see here. Yeah, no.
That
June
makes sense.
1st, 2018.
That makes sense.
The 10K, the race walk, and combined is January 1st.
How is the feed so far?
It's pretty good. I mean, there's like some issues here and there.
Is it delayed? Or does the sound not match our lips?
Currently, yes.
Only on one.
Camera.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the GoPro. For some reason, and that's actually something that I need to get on YouTube and figure out why is there a delay with what we're
So
getting.
yeah, there's a delay about obviously because I heard myself. I don't know, maybe a minute, less, 30 seconds.
Wow, that's a big delay.
Well, no, she's talking about the delay from when she says it to when it gets broadcast out.
On there, yeah, but the sound.
But the audio, we're talking about
Well,
the
the audio is like a second.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's get another camera up here.
And then the Coach Tom Scott is labeled on there, but then underneath it just says title and then
Title. I don't have a title.
I know. I've been slapping things together, and this is not an official thingamajig. Okay, here we go. How about now? You got that other camera up?
Well, now you gotta wait like a couple minutes.
Well, right, but you can click live.
Has it switched over to that one?
You can click live to go live.
I don't know which point of that one.
Wait a minute.
You probably
Okay, well, we're going to do a little bit more of this, and then we'll get back to you. Meaning I'll be home later. Yeah, see ya. Okay, so we're back here. We're back. Okay, we've got the good camera running here, which means no delay, which means only excellence for you that are playing along at home. For those of you that are watching, we got 5 people watching right now. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel. Make sure that you like what's going on. Let's go with some questions. Has anybody got questions? Anybody wants to type in, comment,
Got 8 watching right now.
share what's going on? See over here, mine says 5. Mine's also probably a lot more up to date than yours.
Should I click like? I liked it.
Did you?
That YouTube algorithm's gonna get in there and
That's what I'm hoping for.
Show up on people's dashboard.
We're hoping to basically get ourselves in with the YouTube algorithm, and if you haven't done any research on this, you should. YouTube is very conscientious about how they promote content, and I don't need to be obviously wearing sunglasses in here when it's brightest day. But Tom, can you tell me a little bit about what you're excited about in regards to this upcoming year with our track and field program?
There's a lot to be excited about. We, from both the cross country and from the sprint side of things, we've got a very well-rounded program. We return Felix, who was the national champion in the mile indoors and 3rd in the 15 outdoors. We returned Rico, who was the national champion in the javelin. We returned Martin, who qualified to the national championship in the shot put. We also returned Gabby Schultz, who qualified to the national championships indoors in the shot put. We returned Seb, who was an All-American in the 800. And then we're bringing in a pretty long list of solid athletes who have potential to qualify to the national championships. I know you're pretty excited about the hurdle class that you have coming in. And we've got a few distance runners that we're also very excited about coming in. So it's going to be a good year. We've got eyes on both the men's and women's side to make a run for the top 4 podium finish at the NCAA National Championships. It's not going to be easy, but we're excited to give it all we got. We've got the people to do it. We just got to have the right attitude, right mindset, and believe in each other. That's how it's going to get done.
I'd be interested to take a look at the click-throughs and see where this group email that I sent out, whether or not people actually follow through this stuff and check out the feed. So if you've been enjoying this, make sure that you check us out once a week. I'm gonna do this on my personal channel, I think. Now we'll probably, once we get it going, we'll move over to the live thing and make it an opportunity for us to be a little bit more interactive with the queens.
Oh, so they can live chat.
Well, not even necessarily live chat, but we're just going to go over there and give people an opportunity to see the queens content. Okay, well, I'm getting back on Instagram here. I'm going to try to push some more people over here.
IG?
That's right, on Instagram. We're checking things out there. Again, you're on live with Coach Jim Vahrenkamp, Coach Tom Scott. We work at Queen's University of Charlotte. We've got an excellent program here. Very excited about this next year. We're just talking a little bit about the U.S. Championships, talking about track and field in general, talking about, whatever people have an interest in. I've asked for questions online, so if you've got anything that you want to pose, if you're following along at home, our first question is, when will Tom be able to grow a mustache? Tom, can you talk to us a little bit? Some of the people at home are interested.
Hopefully, one day. I can't grow one. I've never been able to.
Have you tried, for the record? Have you gone? So, for example, November is Movember.
Yeah.
Have you tried, honestly?
Not for a whole month. I've gone maybe about a week and a half, and it just doesn't look good. And I'm pretty sure that Coach Vahrenkamp would tell me it doesn't look professional.
Hey, if you're joining us on Instagram Live, feel free to join us over on YouTube. The link is in the bio. I'm here with Coach Scott right now, and we're just doing a quick. I should say quick. We've been on here for an hour and a half already.
I'll tell you, if you don't have a mustache and you're clean shaven, it makes you look way younger.
Being clean shaven does, or having the mustache?
Oh, clean shaven.
You're saying I don't look young?
No, but what I'm saying is, if you shaved that, you might look like you're maybe 7, 8 years younger. There you go.
That's a quick
Although you
question
got to get
for
rid
you.
of your gray hair.
Guess our age. Coach Tom Scott recently had a birthday. I'm not gonna provide any spoilers, but take a guess what his age may be. If you're joining us online right now on our YouTube channel, feel free to comment. My age is, of course, 27 years old. Tom, much older than I am.
Both from a
QU Wi-Fi.
both from a physical,
the
biological age and emotional maturity level.
The QU Wi-Fi is struggling so hard right now with what we're doing. We're pushing a little bit of video, a lot of audio. We've got people that are asking questions, struggling with all kinds of stuff. Nothing's happening on the Instagram Live. What if I move it over to the other one? I got to change my profile picture too.
So to answer your question, Vince, probably never.
Possibly or probably?
Maybe one day when I'm 50. I don't know. I always did mature a little later than most people.
Have you matured?
I don't know, Jim.
I'm putting this. Oh no, I don't have the link anymore. It's such a struggle to share things on YouTube sometimes.
Craig Engels, he does have a mustache and mullet. And to answer your question, Riley, he would probably win the best mustache competition at the USA Championships. Vince.
Who's Riley? Oh, Riley LaPrell. I see that.
Yeah, Vince, you want to have a mustache growing competition with the coaching staff? Nick would probably win.
Oh, I beg to differ with that.
Yeah.
A fantastic mustache and an opportunity to prove so, I would welcome at any moment.
We should get Mason and Aaron in on this too.
I'm going live right now on my personal account. We'll see what's going on. We're waiting again for any live comments or anything else to come in. We're just checking that out. One thing that we're going to be doing this year that we haven't done in years past is we're going to be having, hopefully, a live video feed of our home cross-country meets. We've been working with some of the people here at Queens that do an excellent job of promoting what happens here. And we're going to work with them to promote a live feed. And hopefully what we'll have is a couple different videos, a couple different shots of what's going on.
Yeah. Camera at the finishing shoot, that'd be fun. Camera get the start.
Mm-hmm.
And then if we could get like do you ever think about getting like a gator and someone just sitting on the back of it? Would that be possible?
No, that would not be possible. And if you are following along at home, you have seen how many cross-country meets where the only thing that they show is the video from the back of the gator, and it's terrible. It's bouncy like this, and you can't tell what's going on, and you don't get to think about this. This is what frustrates me about cross-country. There is no drama created. If you watch a NASCAR race, we don't watch the number one car go around and around and around. We watch the 1 car, the 2 car, the 3 car, the 4 car.
We should put heart rate monitors on every athlete. So
I agree with that.
So the athletes at the front, we could be like, oh, that person's spiked their heart rate
not only
too high,
right,
too soon.
Not only should we have heart rate monitors, we should have GPS chips that go into the bibs, right? That feedback information. They should feedback heart rate, lactate levels,
cadence,
cadence, and speed. An average speed over the last, give a split, right?
Yeah.
I think that would really create some true drama and make it really interesting to watch. Because too often, the people who are calling the race don't know any more than the spectators. They're just watching some stuff. And all they know is history, right? And history doesn't really tell you what's happening right now.
Yeah.
That's my thought. So just so you know, if you come into our race, you'll be hooked up with a heart rate monitor, GPS.
Yep. You're gonna get one of those calf sleeves that give you your lactate levels. Well, actually, I don't think they do it live. We'll have to figure out how to do it live.
If we could solve that, I think it would. The other thing is,
as you pass mile marker 1, you get your finger pricked.
Why don't they do that in horse racing? You know what I mean? Like have some GPS information on the horse. That'd be super easy to wire up. Be able to know how fast a horse is going, what their average mile per hour is, and have, you know what I mean, and see information about, because what they do.
Do you think that would steal from the action from people won't actually be watching what's going on the track? They'll be watching and cross country kind of makes sense because sometimes they go into areas where you can't.
I'm thinking about the people that are at home, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a great question. Really, really great question. Okay. We're going to sign off for now. We'll be back here probably sometime this week as we continue to experiment, test this out, figure out how things work. Got to figure out how to get this camera to shoot and time up with the rest of the audio. But thank you guys for checking things out. As always, make sure that you like if you liked it, subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Thank you for taking time out of your day. But again, thank you from me. And thank you from Tom, and we will see.